Hey y'all, I fully expected Dobes to get the start. Monty would get the game in Edmonton. Going forward, I expect Marty will play the two more or less equally, going with the hot hand and balancing the workload. Yeah, I pretty much agree that's probably how it's going down. Obviously, Dobesh has been the hot hand so far, so he's gonna play more. But as you guys know, it takes one start, right? It takes one start. If Dobish continues his strong play, he must play more. Yeah, Mark. I mean, I think that the thing that's surprising right now is just how stark the difference is. Dobish is playing his the best he's played, since joining the NHL, while Monty's playing, some of his worst hockey, I would say, since getting here. So it's been really interesting to watch. We'll see how it plays out. But yes, right now, Dobish the hot hand, but the Canadians got back to back coming up. They're in Edmonton tomorrow, and I mean, there's no arguing that uh, Montembeau is getting the harder assignment tomorrow. So any talk of him losing his job are premature, but it does mean something that I think Dobish got two starts in a row. Anyways, if you guys want to follow along the highlights, you can find it in the bio below. You can also find it, I just posted it. If you want to just, during the game, I'll be posting the goal highlights as we go along. Goals, fights, the usual big saves, anything that makes its rounds. Dobish deserves a second start in a row. If he can keep playing good, then he'll just keep getting more and more starts. Yeah, I think it's possible that we envisioned at the start of the year that Montembeau would play like 50 to 55 games. Dobish would get about the 25 or so that are left, but I don't know, might be more of a timeshare than we think. So we've got an all Quebec line tonight. Roi Veleno Bolduc. What do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about an all Quebec line tonight? I don't know if you guys watched Hockey Inside Out today, but Jack Todd, who's subbing for Chris Nyland today, said that he thought Veleno was really impressive so far and kind of showing a little bit of the skills that he thought that Doc might have. I think we might be exaggerating a little bit, but that is to say, Veleno I think has earned him his place in the top 12 in this early going. Of course, injuries are helping matters, but yeah, curious to see what you guys think of this all Quebec line. And I know Bolduc's treatment is kind of weird so far this season. He's playing, he's getting good power play minutes, but he's on five. They've kind of dropped him down the lineup a little bit. And I'm a little surprised about that. Hello, Anthony. Hey, Rick. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, so just in case you guys are just walking in, wanted to know more, Dobesh starting tonight, and we also have an all Quebec line of Joshua Roy, Joe Valeno, and Zachary Bolduc. Still waiting on the Habs lines for tonight. Fun stat: Slav led the team last year hits. So far, he's leading with 18. Yeah, he is a special combination of being able to score and hit. I know that he probably doesn't score to the extent that people would like, but truly that combination of hitting and scoring is pretty hard to find in this league, I will say. I like the all Quebec line, although I reckon this is was last chance to prove himself. Yeah, he's definitely running out of chances here. Did not have a good camp, which I think really put him behind the eight ball because it put him behind Beck, put him behind Kapanen, put him behind Florian Jacki even. So I don't know where Hua fits in, but the one thing that he's got on a lot of those guys is that he can score. So, or supposedly can score. He hasn't really actually done that yet in the league. No problem for an all Quebec line, provided that they produce. Yeah, and you know what? I felt bad. I thought Joe Valeno on one of the goals last game deserved an assist. It was one that Newhook got the assist. I thought Valeno deserved so it was Hudson. It was a Hudson assist by Newhook, and then I felt like Valeno did all the work down low, and I thought he deserved an assist, but he didn't. It didn't look like he got one, unfortunately. Hey Rick, you called it Monday. You told me to wait till the seventh inning. You were right. Yes, George Springer was quite the hero for the Jays, and Game 1 of the World Series, I believe, is Friday, right? So you've got a couple days to come down from that high if you're a Jays fan. Slav is playing really well this year, but I've never been concerned about his hits. You can draft a guy in a 10th round who will lead the team in hits. That is true. Like, if Slav leads the league in hits and then doesn't do anything else, then you probably didn't get your money's worth in the first overall pick. But let's say he is top 10 in hits in the league, and then he also scores 20 or 30 goals, and then you've got a really special player. So that was kind of, I think, the logic behind taking him for sure. Somebody with that size who can hit and score. Hasn't put it all together yet necessarily, but we've seen him score, we've seen him hit. Hopefully, just a matter of time before he can do both consistently. Was reviewing stats. Lane Hudson hits more than Jaden Struble. Does that count the fact that Jaden Struble didn't play for the first few games of the season? Um, Also, what constitutes a Lane Hudson hit exactly? Hey, I'll give him some credit. He's hit some guys before. He's done it, but I don't know if I necessarily consider him to be a big hitter. Struble last season wasn't aggressive. Yeah, he's not a. I would agree with that. I don't consider Struble to be. He doesn't have that mean streak that Jackeye has, but Struble, when there's a kerfuffle around his net, he's definitely there to defend his goalie, and he's there to defend his teammates. But I wouldn't say that he goes out of his way to be an aggressive player. That's totally fair. Struble is built like a tank, but he does not play a very physical game. Yes, that is. I would say that's true. So, is it a question of do you think his physical game will come as he gets more confident as a defensive player? So he doesn't feel like he's out of position or whatever, and he feels like he can go make a big hit? Or is it a matter of it's just not who he is? I read today the Canadiens are looking at extending Matheson and Laine. I'm totally on board with Matheson, and I sure hope they don't extend Laine. No idea if this rumor is true. I can. Where did you hear about Laine? It's not going to happen. They're going to extend Matheson. I'm almost unless he just really wants a payday because he will have to take a little pay cut to stay here. But I don't think he will take the pay. I think he'll take the pay cut and stay. Laine's not even playing right now. They can't even get him on the ice. He's not coming back. Don't worry about it. FYI, Cappy leads in scoring for rookies in the league so far. Yeah, it's funny. All the talk about Demidov winning the Calder or being the Calder contender. Hey, you never know with Kapanen. I mean, right now their fates are a little intertwined. They're helping each other out, but I just don't see any reason why Hughes or Line would want this, unless Line just gets hurt and like doesn't play at all. But then even then, he knows that Marty St. Louis doesn't really trust him and isn't going to play him. He was playing him on the fourth line. So this is not the place for Line knows this is not the place for him to be if he needs to rebuild his value. He needs to go to like San Jose and score 40 goals playing with Macklin Celebrini and be a minus 60. Like that's what Line needs to do. Line is This is not the place for him to sign a 1 year show me deal. And I don't think Hughes is at all interested in a 1 year show me deal for a guy like that. So I don't know. I'd be really shocked. I mean, you could tell me where you heard it, and I can tell you if I think they're legit or not, but I can tell you that everything that I know, he's not coming back. Glad to see Heineman off to a solid start in Long Island. Hope he has a healthy year. He deserves it. Yeah, he's great. It's funny that he was traded so many times early in his career, right? Like from uh, Calgary to Montreal and to the Islanders, and he was drafted somewhere else. The guy's moved around a lot, and it is because he is a good player. He didn't get traded because he's a bad player. He got traded because people like him. He definitely, to me, feels like a 20 goal power forward in his future. He was a physical guy, but good at getting in the corners, really smart, good release. He's going to be good for the Islanders. Honestly, I think the Dobson trade is going to work out well for the Islanders. I think the Dobson trade is going to work out great for the Habs because it's exactly what they needed. They needed a right-handed defenseman who can move the puck like that. but the Islanders needed a rebuild. They were getting an elite defenseman in Matthew Schaefer, who they just drafted, who honestly is probably right now looks like the guy who'll probably win the Calder, even more than Demidov. And then they get 2 first-round picks and Heineman for it. So the Canadians paid a lot for that defenseman. They're happy with what they got, but I also think that the Islanders will be happy. Trade Line for Heineman. Let's do just do it for the lulz. For sure, for sure. Just popped in the feed today's new episode of Hockey Inside Out with Rick Green, and this week we have special guest Jack Todd is in. Chris Nyland is out on a player junket thingy. Chris Nyland and our old pal Brian Scrudlin, the class clown, the class clown of the '80s Habs, apparently. So we learned. But check out that episode of Hockey Inside Out with Jack Todd, Stu, and Rick Green. Jack Todd, very opinionated this week. If you guys, gosh, I might have to be the one to deal with the comments later. But for now, enjoy the episode. It was a good one. The Calgary Flames are due. Beware. Yeah, beware the team that is 1-6. They're not going to go 1-81, so they're going to win some games this year. Maybe tonight. They got to be careful. Hey Eric, is Chenoy's Deli still in Point Claire? Do you mean on the one on St. John's? Yeah, so that's kind of like on the border of DDO and Point Claire. I guess it's Point Claire, or no, I think it's DDO, right? Anyways, the one on St. John's, yes, still open. We get to preview Nazem Kadri, see if he's worth picking up later if available. I've heard this rumor before about Nazem Kadri. I mean, the Flames looks like they're getting ready for a rebuild here, and Kadri's pretty old. He's about 35, and Kadri did grow up a Habs fan. Um, and he's a center, and he would be a great number two center. He is paid quite a bit for like the back end of his 30s. So that contract is a bit scary. He could fall off and then the contract's very scary. So far, Kent Hughes has really not he has preferred to not get those kind of contracts. And so even though I think as a player he's kind of what the Habs are looking for, I think the Canadians would have to be true contenders for Kent Hughes to just say, screw it, I'm going to take this bad contract that might be really awful and that I might have to buy out in a year and a half. So Kadri, the Canadians would like that. He'd have to be like the final piece to really get the Canadians over the top for them to want to acquire that contract. But I do think that he would be a top center available, and the Canadians pretty clear they're going to need a center at some point. The Habs season starts after the Flames game. Plenty of contenders over 3 weeks. A test for the Habs. Yes, the schedule has been pretty light on them so far, I'd say. The Seattles and the Chicagos of the world. So, a game against like Edmonton, that's going to definitely be a tougher one, and they got some tougher ones. Only 3 years left on his contract. Our salary cap can easily accept without concern. 3 years is a lot. Like the Canadians, and I think like they've got 2 years left of uh, Anderson, Gallagher. After that, it's really clean. And yes, like Kadri can be like the one kind of guy you got, but the thing is like, why would you, if you don't feel like you're ready to add that piece now, then you might want to wait to see what you might really need. Because you can't get, you can maybe get saddled with one contract like Kadri. You don't want to get saddled with like a few of those. Hey, puck drop. Here we go. Hagee will take two. Hagee will take 2 years to see if he's ready to be a second line center. So I have no problems with Kadri. Yeah, that's actually a pretty good like. That kind of works a little bit. I just like, you've got Gallagher making what he makes. You've got um, Anderson making what he makes, and then adding Kadri. I mean, that's going to be $20 million of like guys in their 30s that maybe you're not feeling. So I don't know. That's tough. Yes, Hughes has always said he'll try to get players that are in the same age group like Dobson. Yes, in a perfect world, that's how old the second line center will be. But I think as we've seen, Hughes may not have a choice. So that's the real question. But again, patience. He can wait. Would Kadri be a fit in the new culture and locker room? I don't know too much about Kadri, but he seems like, I know like in Toronto things didn't go so well, but I think Toronto has a problem with Toronto guys. I don't know. Kadri left, Marner left. I feel like Toronto doesn't look in itself very often, but I feel like here in Quebec we've looked at it before, where we've talked a lot about, well, local guys don't want to play here, local guys don't like to deal with the pressure. Well, now Toronto's had a couple of big Toronto guys not want to be there, like be there and then not want to be there. So I think any like sort of negative thoughts about Kadri leaving Toronto, I think speak more to Toronto. Hey Karen, enjoy your Caesar. They won't trade away a top prospect. Uh, I don't know. I mean, who's left top prospect wise to trade? I mean, Demidov is now in the lineup. I mean, Reinbacher. Again, like Reinbacher, I don't think so. But anyways, he has to get healthy before we. Chinoy's Deli still in dollars on St. John's. Sure is. Go right back to the airport. Oh, yeah, that's not a bad spot. I tell you what, I wrote it for the Gazette a year ago about sort of the decline of the late night deli kind of eat in Montreal. Dunn's isn't open in 24 hours anymore. Chinoy's closes pretty early now. Very sad development of Montreal in the last few years. Stuff closes a lot earlier than it used to. I used to go to the main for a smoke meat poutine at like 3 o'clock in the morning. I used to do that all the time. Loved it. Doesn't exist anymore. Can't do it anymore. Why is it taking so long for this game to start? Am I crazy? I thought it started already. What are we doing? Everybody was lining up. For real. I think Chinois is always underrated for their smoked meat. Yeah, I like Chinois. No, there is something wrong there. The refs are talking to the timekeepers. Come on, let's get this going. Don't you know that this is late? This is a late game for me. Kadri was one of the main reasons the Avs won the cup. Yeah, I mean, the Colorado Avalanche have not been nearly as good as we all thought they would be after winning the cup. Everybody thought that they were going to be uh, a dynasty. It hasn't happened. It looks like the timekeeper. Does the clock not work? I can't tell exactly what's going on, but there is something going on. I thought it would be Monty tonight. Calgary's a better team for him to build his confidence again. Yeah, that's a good point. I thought about Dobes being in because it's like, well, they want Monty in for the Edmonton game, but in reality, wouldn't it be better for Monty to play against Calgary? I don't know. Coaches work in mysterious ways. Elliot Friedman recently talked about Zhuravsky, and everyone he talked to said he will be a big hit in Montreal. He is huge, like in physical size. I mean, he's still lanky, but he's tall. He's like definitely taller than Demidov. He's like a good 6'2" already. If he can fill out, if Swarovski ends up being like a 6'2", 200-pound forward, like look out. Definitely looks like the Canadians got. Can't vouch for how good the guy's gonna be, but it definitely feels like they got a first round talent in the second round. Lots of Canadian sweaters in the crowd. Lots of Montrealers, lots of Habs fans in Calgary always. I don't know what's going on. They're not saying on the RDS broadcast. I think they just said that it was like a timekeeper issue. That seems to be my guess. Let me see if anybody's saying anything on the Twitter. Lighting. Is that what's going on? There's a lighting issue? I don't know if that's true. Okay, here we go. Mercifully. Off we go. And 20 seconds in, Caulfield with a nice hard shot that seemed to give Dustin Wolf some trouble. Say it ain't so. No Caesar mix. Terrible. Apparently a lighting issue. Very odd. No. Yes, whoever is post media. Honestly, post media might be in charge of all this for all I know. It would no, nothing would shock me in this country anymore. Post media does some lighting work on the side. Wow. What a dish by Demidov there. Yeah, that sounds about right. Saturday's still an open competition. What a dish to Kapanen. Look at that one touch pass by Demidov to Kapanen. This line, man. What a line so far. Yeah, totally. The new hook Kapanen Demidov line has played very, very well. Um, I kind of would like to see Bolduc in the new hook spot because I think he's a better finisher. That being said, if Newhook is there to kind of like help them out with the speed and help them out defensively and maybe on some puck retrieval, okay, I'll take it. Yeah, they've definitely established themselves as the second line so far, which is nice because I think that was the big mystery coming into the season and the fact that it's been somewhat reliable so far. Yeah, I am still hoping that this STM does not happen and that an agreement is reached. Maybe I'm being optimistic here. What do you think about the Avs wearing Nordique sweaters and Carolina wearing Whaler sweaters? I don't love it. That being said, I love the jerseys. Those are, I have nothing nice to say about Hartford. Been Denver's a nice spot. Love Denver. But my goodness, those jerseys are classics. So you know what? If this is the only way that we can, if we're never going to get a team in Quebec City, never get a team in Hartford ever again, and they've got to live on through the teams that took them away. I mean, that being said, when the Washington Nationals wore Expos gear, I was mad. So, and I'm still mad. So, you know what? If I'm not a Nordiques or Whalers fan, so, oof, that puck very nearly went in the net, but just trickled by. Almost a goal for Calgary there. So yeah, the weird thing though is, and I understand why they're doing it because they got jerseys to sell, but why are they wearing the Nordiques jerseys in Denver and not Montreal? Wouldn't it be so much cooler if it was in Montreal? It'd be too controversial, I think. Too many mad people. No problem for Montreal. They have bike lanes. You Are there bike racks by the Bell Center? There should be if there aren't. I'd bike to the Bell Center. Why not? No worse than Habs and their Expos colors. Yes, this weird like intermingling of the Habs and the Expos too is a weird. Again, I'm glad UP's still employed. Would have been sad if UP wasn't employed anymore. So I'm glad that the Canadians took UP, but oh my goodness, that Morgan Frost got tangled up by Matheson, but how Frost did not, he just needed to tap it with a stick and he couldn't do it. That was close. Calgary's up 5-2 in shots 5 minutes into this game. Once again, the puck kind of squirting around near the crease. Got caught. Dobes was like not against the post, and it almost banked in, but instead the puck, yeah, off the glass between the pads. Yeah, you know what? That he was looking at the puck the whole time. He definitely meant to do that. So I'll give him that. I watched the Expos documentary, horrible English dubbing. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I don't have Netflix. Somebody actually asked me yesterday. So the guys actually asked me yesterday, like, "Oh, do you want to write about it?" And I was like, "One, I don't have the time to watch it, unfortunately. I will this weekend, hopefully. And then two, I don't have Netflix, so I actually have to like go find somebody's net. If somebody wants to give me their Netflix password, I'll watch it, and I swear I won't watch anything else, and I won't muck up your algorithm. I promise." But sad to hear that the English dubbing is bad. Oh, great shift by Slavkovsky in the offensive zone. Held on to the puck at the point, was able to distribute, went to the net, and then took a really nice shot on Wolf. That Wolf was looking behind him. I think he thought it squirted through. And then Slavkovsky goes in and impales Wolf with a stick just for good measure, trying to look for a rebound. Man, 100%. Slav is going more than net this year. He has come into this season looking bigger and meaner than before. And when you think about how poorly his last two Octobers have gone, this is a very exciting development for sure. True Expos fans will probably form an opinion. Yeah, so far what I've been told about the Expos doc is that it puts blame around quite a lot of people. And I know some people were saying that they should probably put more blame on the Quebec government and some of the Quebec businessmen who refused to partake in this documentary, no doubt because they know what they did. Jerry Park was a great stadium. I had a chance to play baseball this summer at Jerry Park. There's just like a community field, but even then, it still felt momentous. Everybody was wearing their Expos gear, so like being able to play, just a beer league game at Jerry Park this summer. One of my absolute favorite moments this summer, actually, guys. I gotta say, it was really amazing. I still wear my Expos cap proudly. It can be a great conversation starter in small town Ontario. I love to hear it. Love to hear about people's Expos swag. I've got, what do I have right now? I have a couple of hats. I don't have that much right now, actually. You know what I really wanted to buy? Last year, Mitchell and Ness, who make the like the fancy like retro jerseys, they made Tom Brady Expos jersey, because you guys know that Tom Brady was drafted by the Expos to play baseball. So there was a whole like April Fool's thing where Tom Brady was like, "Oh, I'm signing with the Expos. I'm gonna play baseball," and they made these baseball jerseys. They were fantastic. They were like $300 a piece. I don't care. I almost bought one. I might still. I think they still have some available. None of my size, but I think I might try. Valeno takes a lot of heat on Twitter. I don't mind him so far. I think he's been fine. Yeah, I totally agree. I think he's been fine. He should have gotten an assist last game on the Hudson goal. I believe it was the Hudson goal. I think Valeno. Uh, I think as long as he can win faceoffs and play some sound defensive hockey and sort of score the occasional goal, I think he'll be a useful player. I think it's just that when you look at his talent level and you think, oh, he could be more, that's when you run into trouble. I don't think he can be more anymore. But there's always a need for this team will always need a fourth line, a big, fast fourth line player. I have an Expo shirt. Always get lots of comments. Love to hear all the Expo swag out there. I'll always blame the Quebec partners who would put any money forcing Brochu's fire sale. Yeah, 100%. Who are the ones who get like called out here? Like Jean Coutu, I feel like Jean Coutu had been blamed in the past, and people like that for being real cheapskates, basically using the team as a cash as an ATM machine. Um, yeah, it's easy to blame Samson and Loria, but there's a lot of talk about how Samson and Loria. I mean, they're definitely take a lot of the blame, but they were also like kind of ignorant to like what they were walking into, which just like exacerbated manners. I got a framed picture of Jackie Robinson in Montreal Royals uniform hanging on my wall. Wow, that's beautiful. You got to send us a photo. I want to see this. It's like last game where we got the Steven's amazing artwork. I want to see this too. I want to see all this stuff. I want to see all your Expo swag. You guys can always hit me up on Twitter, eh? You guys follow me on Twitter? If you ever on there. If you ever need it. If you ever want to send me photos of stuff, I will always check it out. The 95 fire sale after that epic 94 season was truly the beginning of the end. Sure was. We can definitely talk about what life would have been like if they had actually had a chance to maybe make the World Series. Yeah, you can't send photos on here, but you can at my Twitter, and then I'll screen share my Twitter. That's how I'll do it. That's the workaround. That's the workaround here. You can tweet me. Can you send stuff? No, I guess you can't. I wish you could. I guess you can also you can also post a link here, I believe, as well. The Expos lost 20 million after the strike, so Baruch need his partners to put in 10 million to keep together. They said no. Yes, that is the story, and that is the beginning of the end. Long before Laurie and Sampson showed up, the local owners knifed this team and ruined its possibilities. And we've got our first penalty of the game, and it goes to the goalie, Jakub Dobes. Catches the guy. Catches Connor Zary chasing the puck. I'm not going to say that that was intentional, but Dobes definitely was um, purposefully careless, I'll say. Can't get away with that. So there you go. So this Calgary power play will take us through to the midway point of the first period. Nearly had our first shorthanded goal since the opening night, right? So we had the opening night one, and then now Anderson nearly with a nice chance. The Jays starting price for World Series is $900. Back with their first series, it started $67. Yeah, I can't imagine how much it would cost to go see a World Series game. I think I saw that the tickets are actually cheaper in LA. Again, not surprising. LA has made quite a few World Series. Not that exciting for them anymore. Jerks. Dobes chirped Tom Wilson, Brandon Duhaime, leading to the brawl. Sure did. This guy is a sneaky. I love it though. Don't you love it when your goalie's got a little bit of attitude? I love having a goalie with who's got a bit of a mean streak. Maybe it's because I grew up watching Patrick Roy, but I do love it. Calgary sure doesn't look like a 1-6 team. Yeah, they didn't. I mean, they just had a very ineffective power play, which maybe puts a damper on that. But no, they shouldn't be as bad as 1-6. They made the playoffs last year, didn't they? Or almost. They almost made the playoffs last year. I know that I was on the back of Dustin Wolf, but still, looks like we got another power play. This time, going to the Habs. Yeah, Dobish, man, he does not seem like a 24-year-old goaltender. The guy he's got attitude, he's got confidence. The way he just played that bank off the end boards, just like the kind of things you feel like goalies are so tentative when they're young, even like the good ones. I don't know. He's cut from a different cloth. This guy. I think that's why I think people are ready to make that leap that he can be a number one goalie. It's because he just doesn't act like a 24-year-old goalie. Who do we got to the bat? We got Klapka to the box. So hey, look at Joe Veleno drawing a penalty with his skating. You love to see that. Wolf hasn't been great this year, and didn't they just sign him to a very long deal? Hey, go. I mean, when you sign a goalie to an 8-year deal, you're gonna get like 4 good years and 4 bad years. I think it's just how it goes. Look at like Saros, Bobrovsky, Carey Price. It's just how it is with these goalie deals. So, you know, the Jays are huge underdogs, and I love that. Yes, the Dodgers are the evil empire. They are evil, and the Jays need to embrace their underdog status and win. Jays in 6. Love to see it. I've never rooted for the Jays before. I'm rooting for the Jays this time. Suzuki from Hudson on the power play. Let's see. Yeah, let's see indeed what's going on here. Is this the report now? I've seen this. I've seen a couple people say this. I have not had the chance to read up on this more. The fact that Line is seeking a second opinion doesn't makes me wonder, does he need surgery from his injury from last year? So last year when he elected to not have surgery, it seemed like it was a very you should probably have surgery, and he was like, no, I need to get out there and play. So if it is his knee again, this does seem like it was something that he put aside, and maybe it's too late. And what a shot by Bolduc, but he couldn't get it high enough, and Wolf was able to get across. But wow, did the Canadians really, really tighten that box on the power play here? What a great play! You hope this is the end for Line. Like, no, I wanted to keep playing. Or do you mean in Montreal? But like his time has come and he should go. I hope he plays somewhere. I don't think it's gonna work out for him here, but I'd like. He's too talented a guy to like never play again. Wow, this PP is gonna be good for a long time. It's funny because they're not scoring at the same rate that they did last year on the power play. I know it's still early. I know they're still like they've incorporated new guys into this power play and like it's not meshing necessarily, but it looks like it will at some point. Yeah, I mean, I thought there was a game last year where the Habs played the Flames. Do you guys remember the game that Wolf made like 40 something saves against the Habs last year? And like the Flames, I didn't think they played well at all. And Wolf just completely mowed us down. It was so frustrating. You mean in Montreal? Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough. I hope he gets one more chance, but I mean, look, if he needs knee surgery, then he's done and he's not coming back. And that's that. And Ken Hughes will happily put him on LTIR and happily play around with that cap space if he can. Put Demidov on power play one. That was the subject of today's Hockey Inside Out with Jack Todd, Stu Cowan, and Rick Green. You can check that out on YouTube where they all agree with you that Demidov should play on the first power play and that at some point he will probably go on the first line. That's what they think as well. Like in a year, maybe. Very nice shift for the Veleno line here. Yeah, they're actually able to get a fresh line out. They're able to get the new hook line out, but like they kept it in. Oh, look at Veleno, man. He had so much room there. Tried to beat um Wolf five hole. What's your hat, Eric? It's not the clearest video. I will say if you refresh, sometimes it looks better because it looks good for me. But yeah, I've noticed that sometimes I got to refresh. Anyways, I'm wearing a Giants hat, San Francisco Giants. So that's why I'm rooting. If you're wondering why I'm rooting for the Jays over the Dodgers, I'm not a Jays fan, but my goodness, I would root for the Yankees themselves against the Dodgers. That's how much I hate the Dodgers. Heck, I would root for the Red Sox. That's how much I hate the Dodgers. So, yes, it's a Giants hat. I will say the Calgary Flames do have a lot of young players on this team. They got Hanzek, they got Parak. Like they're they're like sort of doing like a half rebuild. I feel like their rebuild's a little bit like the Habs rebuild, where the Canadians were after Bergevin still had a bunch of these veterans, who had to play, but then they also started incorporating the younger players into the lineup. Like the Canadians are not going to be able to move, or the Flames aren't going to be able to move probably Huberdeau. Kadri might move. He might be tough too. So they're just going to play. They're just going to play with the young guys. Jack, I played a very good game Monday. The goal scored with him on the ice happened while he did the job taking out his man. Yes, that is very true. He had who did we establish? There was a guy who like didn't come back and get his man. Ugh, my memory's terrible. But yes, Jack I thought was the one guy. Well, Hudson had been out for too long. That was kind of the main thing. Cheering for Montreal-born Vladdy. What an accent. Not French Canadian, but he's bilingual. Wow, what a move by Demidov. Cut inside, beat the defenseman. Just couldn't get a shot off though. Every line tonight has put pressure on the Flames. Yeah, I think Flames got 9 shots tonight. They've looked all right, but I do feel like the Canadians have had more high danger chances. We'll check that in the intermission. Oh, another. Wolf is really on his game tonight. You better believe it. He just stoned Alex Newhook. Oh boy. No, Newhook was with a pass to Kapanen. Kapanen, wow, and Kapanen actually on that one touch really got it in the air on the redirect, and he almost got it over uh, Wolf's glove, his outstretched glove. Kapanen was an inch away from his fifth goal of the season. Wolf hasn't allowed a Habs goal in over 90 minutes. Yeah, he last year, man, they could not figure him out, and so far he's looking like he's picked up right where he left off. Unfortunately for the Habs. Dobson is he is slick. That is for sure. Not beating Wolf tonight unless it's a tip or a fluke. That's why when you got a hot goalie, the only way to beat him is to just get bodies in front. Tonight's the night where a Uri Slavkovsky can really make his money. Well, he already made his money, but he can earn his money. Um, he needs to just get in front of the net. Until this year, Vlad Jr. always used a translator for on the field interviews. His dad did his interview for the Expos documentary in Spanish for some reason. Yeah, somebody was joking that when Rogers agreed to pay Vladdy Guerrero $500 million on a contract, that was the day they were like, you need to do at least a couple of interviews in English. we're gonna pay you $500 million. We don't see Slavkovsky on too many one-timers, but it didn't look like he missed that one by much. It was on a pretty sharp angle, but wow, that was a quick shot. Anyways, Rasmus Anderson had to do something to stop the bleeding there. They have to really pressing, and he takes Calgary's second penalty of the night. So with 3:32 left in the period, the Habs will go back on the power play. So the Calgary just lost their best penalty killing defenseman on a really blatant trip right there. Oh, I was hoping that they would show the well, they got one shot on the power play last time. I was hoping they would show that Slavkovsky one timer again. That was a real quick release. They should mic up Dobes. I bet he just talks to himself all game. That'd be my guess. Yeah, the Canadiens are getting chances. It just feels like this ending the period on a power play here and scoring would be huge. The bumper. Zachary Bolduc scores for the Canadiens. Pew, pew. Zachary Bolduc. What a pass by Suzuki, though. My goodness. That's his fourth goal of the season. He has scored all his goals on the road. That's four goals, 4 road games for Zachary Bolduc. Kid's got a wicked shot. The Canadiens just got a 20-goal scorer born in Quebec for Logan Mailloux. Let that sink in. Not to say that Logan Mailloux is going to be a -9 or whatever he is forever, but heck of a trade. And Suzuki and Hudson get the assists on that one. Guys, Nick Suzuki has 10 assists already. 10 assists. Tell me what you think. Is he going to get 100 points this year? What do you think? He has 10 assists already. This is our 8th game. It's the 8th game of the season, and he's got 10 assists already. Unreal. And he's doing it every night. I feel like at the end of the night, I'm like, oh, Suzuki didn't score. Well, he got another 2 assists. Unbelievable. He could be a 30-goal scorer. Zachary Bolduc has the kind of shot, and most importantly, he's got the ability to get into the middle of the ice, which is obviously the most dangerous spot to be. He's got the ability to do it. So Absolutely, I think 30 goals at some point in his career, based on what we've seen so far, is absolutely doable. And I mean, frankly, he's already got 4 goals. 95 points for Suzuki, which would obviously be a career high, would best what he did last year. Um, yeah, I mean the ceiling on Suzuki keeps rising. Every time that we think we've seen everything from Suzuki, we see more. It's early, I know, but it would be fun to see Suzuki hit 100 points. I mean, long-suffering Habs fans who have not seen a 100-point player in so long, it'd be amazing. I posted 103 to 105 for Nick Suzuki end of last season. There is no down curve to Nick so far. No, Nick has like game by game become a better player in this league, which is incredible because he's now been in the league for quite some time. And it just doesn't matter. He just keeps improving. I agree, Eric. Bolduc has that skill Brett Hull had finding open areas. Yeah, he just like he's good at getting open, and you'd think that the St. Louis Blues would recognize somebody with that talent, considering they had Brett Hull, but I think they're going to regret that move. I understand they needed a right-handed defenseman who wasn't 40 years old in the worst possible way, but and they've got a million young forwards that they think are going to be better than Bolduc. That's all fine. I still think they're going to regret this move. I think the Habs made out like bandits. First intermission is here. Habs are up 1-0. They outshot Calgary 10-9. Watched the Leafs last night. Man, they're bad. Not sure how they thought they'd be better after letting a 100-point guy go for nothing. Yeah, and then have to just give more money. How much more money they're going to have to keep giving to Austin Matthews? I think Leafs fans couldn't wait to get rid of Marner. Some of them, anyway. I don't know what they're thinking. I think they're in trouble. Go Habs! Love the Habs. That's why you're here. Thanks for joining. But yeah, so it's 10-9 Habs in shots after the first period. Bolduc scored his fourth goal, and Nick Suzuki now up to 10 assists on the season, 5 assists for Hudson. What does the crown mean? Which crown? Oh, like in the YouTube chat. This is something that's assigned by YouTube, not by me, but the person who posts the most or posts the most that gets the most engagement gets a little crown from YouTube. And this is to encourage you to keep commenting, because the more you comment, the more this live stream will sort of algorithmically make its way through. This is all just internet gamification. That being said, if you get the first crown, I will love you. You will be I will treat you as the hero you are if you do it. So that's basically how you get it. Mark, the Leafs' failure is that they're too full of themselves. They read too much of the press. Yes, this is something that I think they need to start looking at. As I mentioned earlier, two homegrown players, Marner and Kadri, could not wait to get out of there, or were like basically run out of town. And I don't feel like the Toronto media has done any of the reflection that I would think even the Montreal media had done. Montreal media has done reflection on why Quebec players historically have like kind of not wanted to come here, uh, and I don't even think that's the case anymore. I think by having that reflection, we've actually been able to sort of encourage players to come back. Toronto is now, I feel like Toronto's kind of where the Canadians were like 20 years ago. Just kind of coming off of some highs, and now there's a big low coming. Ownership has now come in. It's mostly Rogers now. Good luck with that. I mean, the Jays just made the World Series, so I guess Rogers. Let's not cast all doom and gloom on Rogers, but we'll see what happens. The crown means he's the top commenter. No, you did not get $1,000. If you got $1,000, I would be commenting all game. I wish. If I could give you $1,000 for commenting, I would. I can't though. I'd rather have 4 guys making 9 mil than 2 guys making over 12 mil. It means money for more depth. I mean, the fact that the Canadians have gotten the guys that they've signed at the prices that they've signed is going to go down as ridiculous. I mean, there's going to be a point in time where Nick Suzuki making half as much as Austin Matthews. And if you had a game 7 and you asked me who would you put as your number 1 center, Nick Suzuki or Austin Matthews, I don't think Austin Matthews is a great player. Definitely can score more than Nick Suzuki ever could. But the chips are down. Who's the guy you're counting on here? Good first period. I thought so. You guys can't hear right now, but my dog is sleeping behind me and he's having some dreams and he just sounds like I can't even describe it. He sounds like a weird drunk old man. He's just going I don't know. It's funny. I think it's funny. Whatever. That's why you have a dog. Literally the point of having a dog. It makes you laugh. That's why he's here. He's here for comic relief. All right, question for y'all. When Doc is healthy, do you take out Joe Valeno? Who are you taking out? I guess you're taking out Joshua Roy or Beck or whoever. Yeah, you tell me. Who if when Doc comes back in, who's out for you? And would you keep and let's say if you keep them both, if you keep Doc and Valeno, do you keep Valeno up the middle? All right, you guys say you take out Hua. But then if you take out Hua, so who's the center then? Would you have Doc as a center, Valeno as a center, or does it not matter? Do you just put them on the same line and then you just have them take the strong side face off? You see my pic of Jackie Robinson. Oh, did you post this? Where did you post this? Did you post this on Twitter? Hold on, let me check. No, you didn't post it. I thought you posted it on Twitter. Beck was invisible his 2 games. He didn't play a lot. I don't disagree with you. He didn't do much. He didn't play a lot. I didn't think he was invisible. I thought he was just kind of there. Scroll back. I put it on Facebook. On my Facebook? I don't know how to log in on my Facebook. I I got booted from there a long time ago and I'm not sure how to get back. Um on your is it on your Facebook? I guess I could look up your Facebook. Just put a link. Did you put a link? Or did I miss the link? Maybe you put the link. Hold on. I'm not trying to post to Twitter. Just post the link here and I'll click on the link if you can do that. On your Facebook. Is your name on Facebook? As in Harry Meach? Is that what you call? Is that your name on Facebook? Hold on. I gotta log in. What's my login? Hold on, I gotta log in here. What's a motorcycle? Select squares for all the motorcycles. Oh my god, with the two-factor authentication and all that. This is ridiculous. I don't know about you guys, but I live in this constant world of this purgatory of two-factor authentication all the time. I can't stand it. The two-factor authentication. All right, hold on. Hold on, we're doing this. We're doing this. I'm sharing the screen. We're doing this. Boom. Can you guys see? This is Harry Meach's Habs throne. This is where he watches. This is where the action happens. You can see me there next to the printer. It's where I want to be. We've got a PBR in play. Who doesn't love a Pabst Blue Ribbon? I wish I had a Pabst Blue Ribbon right now. And then we got right here. Oh, you can't see my cursor, but right above the printer, you can see the Jackie Robinson with the Montreal Royals gear. This is amazing. And then there's a Habs photo on the right side. I can see that. We got some cycling stuff up at the top. This is a very nice setup. I like it. There you go. What did you guys think of that setup? That's a good setup. Does anybody know how Armia is doing in LA? I don't. How is he doing? He has no goals in 7 games and 3 assists. And his ice time is identical to what it was here. He averaged 14 minutes, 18 seconds last year. And right now he's averaging 14 minutes, 19 seconds this year. So he's literally playing 1 second more per game in Los Angeles, but he has no goals yet. So Godspeed. Godspeed to Joel Armia. He was a good Hab for parts of his time here. He was here for a really long time. He was here for a crazy long time. For like a fourth line player, it's kind of wild. It's kind of wild how long he was here, but I'll give him. Dobish, man. Well, Dobish in a battle tonight. This game might go down as a real goaltending battle tonight. I would be. I would be, if I were you, very concerned about the goaltending tonight, in so much that Dustin Wolf looks like he can stop anything tonight. I bet Don Cherry hates that players don't have to dress up anymore. I agree that is probably something that will annoy him greatly. Um, I guess that's it's an irony. One of the oddest dressers in Canadian history would be obsessed with how other people dress. Hey, I guess the guy always wore a suit. Some of those suits were put together by like carpet fabric, but they were still suits, I guess. If games are indicators, the second should be the Flames. Yes, the Canadians have had a bit of that swoon. This a bit of the second period swoon so far this season. Let's hope that they avoid that this time around. I would hope so. I mean, you can't click on the link, but it's there if you want it. Well, you can click on it in the comments. That's true. Hate to bug you since the senior writers refuse to answer. What's going on with the time schedule for posting comments at the Gazette? So they actually would not know. They don't know. I probably know more than them about that. And I can tell you that I also am not 100% sure. Um, I was kind of under the impression that definitely this first month of October, nothing. We would be without comments. So I think once November kind of hits, I think I have a much better sense. But it's going to be probably, hopefully, soon after that. But definitely for like the month of October, there won't be comments, and then we'll see what happens after. is unfortunately the best answer I can give you. There are a lot of things. But we're getting there. We're getting there. Sorry, did I tap I'm sorry, I tapped my mic, I think. That's good now. Nobody's being honest. I'm guessing they're gone forever. They're not. I know. Trust me, I know that it seems that way, but it's not gone forever. The website's going to go through another like large update like pretty soon. At which point the comments will be back. But if I had a firm answer, I'd give you the firm answer. But unfortunately, I don't. So, but I can tell you that it's not like a dishonesty thing. It's literally just most honestly, 99% of the people at the Gazette are completely like not involved in any of the discussions about it. Like they don't actually know it all. So I know like a little bit, but not. I don't have a firm answer. Bolduc looks like a 30 to 35 goal scorer, a steal indeed. Yeah, he looks pretty amazing right now. What a great acquisition. Hey, we're back for the second period. Ooh, Dobes ready for that one. Do you want to cancel my subscription if the comments don't come back? I enjoy the articles, of course. So I'm keeping the transcripts of these live chats, and I am giving them to the higher ups, uh, so that they know. So your honesty, as always, with all of you, is very much appreciated. I always appreciate that you guys tell it like it is. You don't gotta sugarcoat life for me. It's a okay. Um, and these decisions are not mine, but I do my best to relay your comments, concerns, and all that to those who hopefully can make a fucking difference, if you know what I mean. Yeah, Struble is he's definitely the kind of guy that like needs to keep his game simple, and if he does, and you don't notice him much, it's great. And then if you notice him, not a good thing. Hey, that was a not the easiest shot block by Slavkovsky on Uyghur. Pushed himself very much offside afterwards, going for a late hit on a guy who ended up in the bench. He totally knocked a guy into the bench. The door threw itself wide open. Uh, Again, look at Mean Streak Slavkovsky again. Look at that. Look at a little extra shove on Bean. He knew exactly what he was doing. That's dangerous, actually. He's kind of lucky he didn't. Kind of lucky if he didn't get anything. Yeah, I want to get to this one. Too bad Joyce Puto has run CF Montreal into the ground. We got former Canadian Joel Hanley winning a race. Yeah, there was a RDS showing some highlights of teams going really hard at Parek. That's not good for the Flames. They need to protect that guy. He's got the potential to be a real elite puck moving defenseman, but if he's getting obliterated every shift, not good. Apparently, that's a game record for Hua. Apparently, he's never even done that in a whole game, let alone in a period. We got a delay of gay penalty for Bolduc. Yeah, I'm trying to look for updates on this. What is it saying? I haven't seen anything yet. But is he? There you go. I guess Cole was on the ice. Yeah, I was trying to see if there's anything. I was like, no, I don't see anything. Bolduc might have been on a line change. Or was yeah. I mean, look, sometimes guys don't get off the ice, right? But it was the first shift. I think that was why it was kind of weird. It was the first shift of the period. Oh, there you go. And well, he doesn't kill penalties, so that'll be fast for him. Hey, we love the heart emojis. Well, good power play, a good penalty kill so far for the Habs, that's for sure. Yeah, I like what we've seen from New Hook. I feel like New Hook seems a little more comfortable, a little bit like Anderson, where I think there's less pressure for him to score because there's so much more talent on the team now that he can kind of just use his speed, help set up offense, play well defensively. It's nice to see. I'm definitely happy with what I've seen. And no call. Definitely been a lot of those misses so far this season, I would say. Carrier was a tremendous pickup last season. Sure was. I mean, he saved their season last season. Their defense was floundering. And now that Dobson's here and he's got kind of been pushed to the third pairing where I think he's where how so many how Carrier was able to now be in the third pairing. It's nice to see. Anyways, nice to see. We've definitely got a lot of depth on defense. Can't believe our chat has become so boring. No wonder Hunter Muskoka moved on. Where didn't you guys say that Hunter something happened to Hunter Muskoka last time? Can't invoke his name and not tell me what happened to him. Anyways, if the chat's boring, I don't know. How would you like me to how would you like to jazz it up? What's the game missing? I'm always happy to hear about what the game's missing. What a difference Dobish between the pipes. Just increases the team's chance of winning. Yeah, they've been pretty comfortable so far with Dobish and Nets, and they've really been able to put it on Wolf, but they're definitely struggling to beat Wolf. And we had the night in Chicago where they called everything. Yes, that game was kind of ridiculous. There was there were so many penalties that game, and then for the most part, there haven't been nearly as many. Oh, look at that! Some nice highlights of Joshua Hua and Zachary Bolduc playing. What was that? Playing Pee Wee together? That wasn't junior, eh? That was like Pee Wee. Well, that was a pretty cool highlight from RDS. Oh yeah, Jakub Dobes started his career last year 3-0, and then this season also starting his season 3-0. Let's see if it continues though. He's currently got a 1-0 lead. Habs currently outshot 16-15 right now. What do you guys think? I totally agree Matheson can skate, but how are you feeling about the Matheson Dobson pairing? I mean, obviously they're playing great, but are you surprised that they're such a good pairing together? Like I feel like I didn't think they would be. You always think that like a more mobile guy has to be paired with more of a stay-at-home guy, but two mobile guys. Wasn't it 4-0 for Dobash to start his career? I was just going by what RDS was saying that he started his career 3-0 and then started this season 3-0. I think they were saying it in terms of it was the same, and then we'll see about tonight if he goes 4-0 again. And Slavkovsky, man, what an amazing another chance for him. It's funny how we've had future hockey players in the Little League World Series and baseball players in the Pee Wee tournament. I mean, hey, I think it's for the best if you're a talented young athlete that you don't get pigeonholed into a sport right away. I don't really like how kids are so specialized now with their sports and they just play like hockey 24 hours a day, and in the summer they got hockey programs. I loved it when Tom Glavine was drafted as a hockey player and as a baseball player. Tom Brady, as we were talking about earlier, was drafted as an expo, and then of course went on to be a Hall of Fame quarterback. Bo Jackson, like who did not love classic Bo Jackson? I mean, and these are guys who made it to like the pros. I'm not even, we're not even talking about the pros here. We're literally just talking about like in high school. You should play as many sports as possible. Exactly. I couldn't agree more. The Wings are losing 4-2 to Buffalo. The Habs have a chance to lead the Atlantic. Wait, the Detroit Red Wings are leading the Atlantic Division? Good gravy. Yeah. Come on, Habs. You're better than the Detroit Red Wings, aren't you? I think so. In 1984, the Jays whined to Major League Baseball about Expos games being broadcast in the Toronto area. Bowie Kuhn, the contact at the time, agreed and banned Expos broadcast in the Toronto area. Jays are dead to me. Damn right. They ran Dobesh now. Yeah, they got to protect Dobesh. Although Dobesh looks like he can protect himself too. But it's got to be a team. Dobish has really improved Matheson's overall game. 100%. We went into the season thinking that this was going to be Matheson's last season in Montreal and would probably leave as a free agent. And their success, I think, has just made it even more obvious that Matheson's going to get another deal here. There you go. The best thing for adults is to watch a variety of sports on their big screen TV. I love it. That's how I do it. Dobson has been simply outstanding. Really has. Hold on. This one I like. We're going to get to this one. For goodness sakes, Caulfield, never pass the puck to Slav. You are the sniper. Slav takes 47 minutes to get off a shot. Slowest release in the NHL. All his goals are deflections or tap-ins for a reason. Yeah, man. Caulfield, you're the guy who might score 50. You got to do it. Oh, they're tied. Detroit is tied with the Habs. That makes sense. I was like, there's no way Detroit's better than 5-2 right now. That makes sense. Both Dobson and Matheson no longer have the pressure of trying to run the play. They no longer have to force the play as either can run it. Yeah, that's kind of like the yin and the yang of that pairing. That they're actually, by both being like talented offensive defensemen and notably good skaters, smooth skaters, they can actually go back and help each other. They can sort of alternate being the guy pushing the play. It's a bit of a gamble by the Habs, but it looks like it's paying off in the early part. I remember the cool music on CBC Expos Baseball. I don't remember the cool music on CBC Expos Baseball. I want to hear this. Is it as good as the NBA on NBC uh, Round Ball Rock Jam? Can't be that good. A lot of love going on here when the Habs play so amazingly well. It's only 1-0 though. We need another. Habs need another goal. 1-0's not. They need 2 more goals. They need to beat Dustin Wolf a couple more times. I don't feel like. Honestly, I feel like if the Habs go up 2-0, Calgary might be in tough. They don't look like they've got a lot of scoring prowess, although they're playing pretty well. Caulfield knows who has the better chance to score when he has the puck on his stick. I mean, I will also say that that line is just incredibly talented, and they often just pass the puck to each other because they're confident that they can find the open. They can find the open man. That would explain why I don't remember. I was alive at that time. Don't get me wrong. Not that young, but I was not watching Expos baseball at that time. The one team that can do lots of damage this year is Anaheim because they've got so much talent on that present roster. At some point, Anaheim and then to a lesser extent Chicago and San Jose, they've been the bottom feeders along with the Habs for those years, and now they're still bottom feeders and the Habs are out of the bottom. But they've been amassing so much talent that at some point this is going to get all together. Ooh, I don't know how Hudson got on a breakaway, but he did. But he couldn't beat Wolf. I don't think Hudson is that used to having to fire a shot off at full speed. Did Chicago do anything for Quenneville, like a welcome back? I don't know. They might have been told not to. I'm sure they did. What a play by Hudson, though. He flipped the puck to himself and turned Kevin Ball inside out. Kevin Ball's twice Hudson's size. Kevin Ball's a beast. And Hudson just totally worked him. Incredible play. Wait, what's on? I was in the 80s. I was living up in northern Quebec. Only had CBC North. Couldn't watch the Expos. What could you watch on CBC North? What was available on CBC North in the 80s? I'm curious. Hudson has hands of stone. He worked on a shot this offseason. I don't know if you've noticed. Hasn't necessarily translated yet, but he has definitely worked very hard on a shot this offseason. But I know you're kidding. Nazem Kadri was hit in the face, and judging by Marty St. Louis' reaction, at least 2 minutes. Just a minor. 2 minutes for Oliver Kapanen. Right off the draw, bonk. Got him with the butt end of the stick, not the blade. Got him with the butt end. I mean, Kadri went down. Kadri went down pretty fast. I don't know how you guys feel about what Kadri just did there. I mean, he got hit. He got butt ended. Whatever. He sold it a bit, but he got butt ended. It did happen. Evans and Anderson, big chance on the penalty kill there on a 2-on-1. Evans could not find an opening to Anderson, and I'm happy he didn't try to force it, but he also missed a shot wide. Kapanen is looking early on like maybe he could be the second line center. I'm not saying he's going to be like an elite second line center, but I don't know. Reruns of the Beachcombers on CBC North in the 1980s. Hey, that's not bad. Didn't they have like 500 seasons? At least you don't get tired of them, right? Kadri would do well in the WWE. Embellishment. 9 out of 10 die by Kadri. David's no wait, that's still about CBC North. And not about Kadri diving. Or is it? No. Kadri sure sold that one. Do we have a shorty yet this year? We do. Oliver Kapanen's first one, right? In the first game of the season, I believe was a shorthanded goal. Yes, exactly. The Kapanen in the first game, his first goal was a shorthanded goal. But yes, no shorthanded goals since then. That and Coronation Street. I mean, Coronation. That's still what's. I think even today on CBC, that's what you're getting. Lots of Corey. Remember the iconic 10-15 game stretch Evans had? Would like to see that back. Uh, yeah, it got him a 4-year contract extension. not that I, not that I think that he's overpaid. I actually think that he got a deal befitting the Evans that usually is around more so than the one from that little time. But yes, Jake Evans runs hot and cold. Ooh, a really nice try. Almost a 2-on-1. Almost an odd man rush there, but it was more the Calgary guys got back. But it was more Suzuki trying to find New Hook and not being able to and going for the shot. Aguilera said he started scoring the day Fleury told him it's more important to shoot fast and accurate. Slav needs to learn this. Yeah, you know what? Chris Kreider on a podcast recently was talking about that as well. that he did a lot. He was doing a lot of analytics. This is the year that he like all of a sudden scored 40 goals after kind of being like a 20, 30 goal guy his whole career. And Chris Kreider said that he was following a lot of analytics and looking at like the places where he typically scores. And then what he would do is he would go there and then just shoot right away. And he said, I don't even like aim or look. Like I'm just shooting for the corners. And he said that if you do it fast enough, you have a 33% chance of scoring. That the goalie simply can't get there fast enough. So it's just a matter of getting the shot off as fast as possible. So excellent advice from Theo Fleury to Jerome McGinley, and advice that I think Slavkovsky also needs to learn. I watched the first episode of The Littlest Hobo on Amazon today. Is there a new Littlest Hobo? Or are you talking about the original Littlest Hobo and you just happened to watch it today on Amazon? Or is there a new Littlest Hobo? Because if there's a new Littlest Hobo, I would have a lot of feelings about that, but I would probably still watch. Justin, who's going to tell him? Oh boy, we got Struble and Klapka tangling up. We got Jackeye and Kirkland tangling up. Klapka is 6'8", towering over Struble. But Struble's not backing down. Yeah, Canadians had their chances this period. Have not gotten them in. So let's see. Dobes makes the save. I mean, the Calgary guys barely even made it there, but Jackeye and Veleno aren't feeling it. Klapka got pretty close, but Struble's not backing down. I mean, you like to see that. You like to see the Canadians not back down here. The original Littlest Hobo, the very first one. Well, if you've never watched it before, enjoy. It is. When I was a child, it was definitely one of my favorite shows. I can't say that I've watched it since then. Don't mess with Stroobs. He can deck people. That's funny because we were talking about Struble earlier about not being necessarily like a physical guy in sort of like he's not aggressively physical. He's not going to very often go out and like go smash a guy and hit a guy. But when you poke him, or if you poke the goalie, what a play by Hudson to keep the puck in the zone and then do a little twirlorama to get a shot on net. Man, every time Hudson does a play that like something I've never seen before. Roy has been pretty much invisible. Well, he did have the 3 hits they said in the first period, which is a record for him. It's a game high for him. Ooh, that's going to be a penalty for sure. Matheson tried to, at top speed, kind of steal the puck from Kadri, kind of bear hug, like kind of like did like a bit of a hugging motion to try to get the stick around him, but didn't work. He's going to go to the box. Struble and Arbor play well together. Well, we just saw them on the same shift. Calgary Flames trying to mess with Dobes and didn't go down. Didn't go well for them. Canadians stood tall. Send Roy down and let Florian have a 2-game taste. I think that this is the strategy the Canadians are going to employ, especially if Laine is out for a while. They're going to cycle the young forwards because I think they don't want them to sit on the bench too long. And there's not like a lot of ice time available in Montreal right now. So they don't necessarily want to call up Beck and have him play 9 minutes every game. They do want him to play in offensive situations in Laval. So I do think Florian will get a chance probably after this road trip. That's a dive on the Matheson one. Still got a stick in there though. You can't do that. Struble had 2 hits in 3 games prior to this game. Hudson 6 in 7. That's a funny stat. But yeah, neither player known as big hitters, but similar pace. There you go. Another Kadri dive. Dive. I stand corrected. You guys, laughable. I got to see the replay. It looked like Matheson got a stick in there, but you guys are saying it's a dive. I believe you. Hold on. Hold on. We got the replay right here. Oh yeah. That's two dives tonight by Kadri. Oh my goodness. Oh, and here's that great spinorama play by Hudson. He actually took a pretty big hit just to complete that play. All right. We got Flames. But yeah. No, you guys are right. You guys are right about Kadri. That was definitely a dive. Very, very nice by Dobes there to keep the puck out. Calgary definitely had their chances on. They've had their chances on this power play, but so far Dobes, the puck has kind of been like sitting in the crease a couple times now, and yeah, Dobes able to sort of just keep the puck out again, like pretty confidently tracking the puck. What a block by Hudson on that Joel Farabee shot. We are playing in Calgary tonight, which is why it is a late game. Zachary Bolduc has 4 goals on the season, all of which are on the road, funny enough. But yes, we're currently playing in Calgary tonight. Potentially bad clear by the Habs, ends up on Veleno's stick, takes it through the neutral zone, and then there's like a really just like off-timed offside. Oh my goodness, how did Kadri not beat Dobesh? Did it hit the post? Yeah, hit the post. I mean, the Calgary's getting their chances here. They're out shooting. Now we're back at 5-on-5. But Calgary definitely getting their chances. They've got 23 shots to Montreal's 19 at the moment. Dobes lost his stick, possibly lost the puck. Doesn't matter. Still made the save. Kirkland's doing a great job in front of the net. Yeah. Oh my goodness. No, Dobes had to really stretch back to get it in his, to make the glove save there. Almost got tapped it away with his blocker, and then he's able to get on top of it with his glove. Again, just incredible confidence. Yeah, the calm is pretty amazing. Just thinking, I love how people always use we as if we are part of the team. I'm just as guilty. Um, I try not to, not for any real reason. I don't think it matters that much. I know some people it matters a lot. Me, I'm not. I'm not. I know I'm like a writer and an editor, but at the same time, I'm weirdly not that pedantic. I'm pedantic about certain grammatical rules, and I'm not pedantic about others. And I'm certainly not pedantic about stylistic rules for the most part. So I would say that say whatever you want, use them interchangeably. The English language is meant to be quite malleable. So anybody who feels hard and fast about English rules, um, honestly, English is the language of house rules. Where you are and where you're talking, it's very different. So I don't always have time for the pedants. And if you want to say we, say we. If you don't want to say we, you don't have to say we. It's all good. Dubish looked like Dominic Hasek out there. If Dominic Hasek were 6'5", Vezina candidate right there. I mean, he's going toe to toe against Dustin Wolf, a guy who was a Vezina candidate last year, and he's besting him tonight. Letting a vulnerable Flames team stick around and gain confidence. Let's pick it up, boys. Yeah. There's 4.3 seconds left in the second period. Still 1-0 Habs, but obviously it's one goal game. Anybody's game. Uh, both teams are taking not the greatest penalties, so there's definitely a chance for more penalties and more power plays in the third period. So the Canadiens need to look alive, but considering how well the goaltenders have been tonight, I think if the Habs go up 2-0, it's going to be hard for Calgary to score 3 goals and come back. So they need at least that insurance goal. They better come out a lot better in the third, or the Flames are going to tie it up. Yeah, they got to be careful. Flames are playing. Flames are playing well tonight. Cannot fault them. The critics are out here again. Hey man, when you're playing against the 1-6 Flames and you're letting them hang around, there's going to be some critiquing. But I don't think the Habs are playing bad. I think just the Flames are playing quite well, and the Habs are not necessarily. They didn't cash in on some of their chances early. Why do we play poorly in the second period? It's frustrating to watch. Yeah, they were outshot 18-9 in the second period. And the second period is now over. And look at us. We've got another scrum. This time it's Matheson and Coronado getting into it. Are they saying Coleman might get a penalty? No. I don't think so. Is 1-0 better than the dreaded 2-goal lead? No, not tonight. Not tonight. 1-0. You might as well just be tied right now. This is anybody's game for sure. People seem to forget the penalty minutes against in the second for the shot totals. Hey, 18 shots in a period is 18 shots in a period. The Canadiens got, yes, they did get 3 penalties in the period, but still, 18 shots is a lot. All right. Tomorrow will be interesting. Monty should do all right, but if the Habs continue to play just 25, 30 minutes, the Oilers should dominate. Yeah, the Oilers are not the Flames, that's for sure. We're winning the game with solid goaltending, but some people are complaining. Arbor X. Love to see it from Arbor tonight. They have to clean up in the third. They can't leave Dobes out to dry. 6 full minutes of having one less guy on the ice. Yes, that is what happened in the second period. And man, Dobie shut him out. Shut him out. Dobie looked so calm. Yeah, that was a that was a busy period for him, and still kept it out. We had more chances shorthanded. Maybe they just put 4 out there. Habs third in the league goal for. Wolf finally playing solid this year. This young Habs defense is only going to get better as the year goes on. They're definitely this Habs team knows how to score. Tonight, maybe they're not going to need to score very much to win the game. This is a quite a goalie battle we got going here. Cole Caulfield, is he due a goal tonight? He's looked all right. Five minutes of ice time for Joshua Roy tonight. No shots, 4 hits. Not exactly what you'd expect from him. So in terms of chances tonight, um, the Flames have 12 scoring chances, 3 high danger chances. The Habs have 9 scoring chances and 3 high danger chances. So the chances are still a little tilted for the Flames, but not as much. Um, I know that a lot of people were talking about how much ice time Matheson was getting last game. Tonight hasn't really changed. He's leading at 16-17. Dobson is second at 15-43. And then Jack Eye's got less than 9 minutes. Hudson's got 13:44. Carrier's played 13. I guess it's because, again, yeah, all the penalties. Ditto, like somebody like Caulfield hasn't played very much tonight. Only 10:27 with the penalties in the second period. Slavkovsky, the same thing. Um, and we haven't seen much Demidov either, 8-12. So, I mean, our uh, our forwards are definitely pretty rested because of all the penalties they've had to kill. So, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm hoping that everybody comes back. I was always eternally grateful after I know that we weren't able to do the live blog for a month last year when we had another website problem. So I was always very grateful that you were all able to come back, and that's part of my impetus for doing this because I felt like another month of no live blog, especially to start the season, would have been a real bummer. So, has anyone watched The Perfect Neighbor on Netflix? Majority is all shot from police body cam. It's pretty crazy. Is it a documentary or is it a drama? That sounds pretty cool. I don't watch a lot of shows, but I would watch that. That looks great. That sounds pretty cool. CNN did a piece on that today on the Perfect Neighbor. Oh, I'll have to check that out. I'm glad to see Arbor get a minute 43 of PK time. He and Struble need to get more to develop. 100% agree. These are the exact kind of guys that you want to develop into your penalty killers. And I feel like Marty's done such a great job turning Anderson last year and like this year New Hook into penalty killing forwards. They've got to find a way to do it for the defensemen too. It's one of those shows you just kind of can't turn off. I need a new show to watch. Not that I have any time to watch TV, but I would love time to watch TV and then for it to be that show. So it's on my list as well. I hope to watch it soon. But then again, we've got the World Series coming up, so between the World Series, Habs nights, World Series nights, working till I don't know, guys, working ungodly hours for this newspaper, by choice, of course, but working lots of hours. So I don't know. We'll see when I have time to watch TV. Sometime soon, I hope. Habs are getting schooled quite a bit on face-offs tonight. It's 53% for the Flames, but Evans is dominant at 62%, and then Suzuki's at 53%, and then Newhook, Veleno, Kapanen are really struggling in the dot tonight. So it's really like a two-man face-off team. I'm sure they're disappointed that Veleno isn't winning more face-offs. They definitely need him to win more face-offs. That's like a pretty key part of his job going forward. Yeah, no goals in the second. Can Calgary score? Are Calgary able to score twice? Can they do it? Our old favorite Hab, Arturi Lehkonen, is tied for the top plus minus plus 9 so far this season, scoring a point a game so far as well. Great player. My hope is that Oliver Kapanen can be what Lehkonen was, but a center would be my hope. Another fan of The Perfect Neighbor. I gotta watch this. I've never heard of this until today, and it sounds like you guys are all super into it. Shania Twain's at the game. Love it. RDS is saying that Joel Farabee is not on the bench for the Flames to start the third period. Joel Farabee. Man, that was looked like a surefire goal for the Flames. What a poke check by Dobes. And then at the other end, Suzuki almost scored, and Wolf kept it out. We're a minute into the game, and we're already gotten some stretch passes and all alone chances. Now Anderson's all alone, and he shoots high, but he can't beat him. Oh, and neither can Gallagher. Oh my goodness, 3 scoring chances for the Habs to start the third period. Unbelievable. I mean, the only reason why Calgary even had a sniff at the playoffs last year is because of Dustin Wolf. And I think if they get anywhere near it this time, same deal. They are not a very good team. They work hard though, but the talent level's not nearly there. But they've got a great goalie. Does that sound familiar? Not a very talented team, but a great goalie. I feel like we've seen a few of those before. He sure did, and he is not happy that this is a late game and that I'm not taking him out yet, but he'll just have to manage for a little while longer. 4 minutes without a whistle now. Not a whole lot of happening, but 4 minutes without a whistle nonetheless. This is good for the Habs, obviously, because they're just trying to kill as much time as humanly possible. I'm gonna guess that it's probably pretty mixed. A pretty mixed. Go Habs, go Flames, go. I'd imagine there are more Flames fans, but the Habs fans are definitely louder. God, watch that replay again on the Suzuki save. What a save by Wolf on Suzuki. Unreal. Save of the night, not even close. He did totally just did the splits. Like the splits going the other way. I don't know how he kept that one out. And Dobson, Islanders fans warned us about Dobson that he was occasionally going to just absolutely cough up the puck in the worst way. And he coughed it up to Klapka, and Klapka beats Dobes, and it is tied 1-1. Wow. Beat him glove side. That was 14:04 left. And yeah. There you go. Yeah, this was Dobson had a pretty immaculate season up until this point. It's funny because I have some Islanders fans in my life, and this is what they warned me. They were like, 9 times out of 10, Dobson's going to be okay, but every so often, a bit like Matheson, just makes a play that you're just like, what are you doing? So it does happen. No, don't play for the loser point. Now, you play tomorrow. You don't want to go to overtime, right? You want to be back at your hotel. This is why I was complaining about the second period. We're not winning anymore because they didn't work hard enough. Same so far in the third. Yeah, that is totally what happened. They took a lot of penalties in the second, let the Flames back in it, and now it's tied up. Wolf is in the groove. Extremely hard to get another one. Yeah, it doesn't look easy right now. That's a cliche cop out. It's not a cumulative thing. Mistakes matter when they're made, not how many. 1-0 lead in the third with a pressing team. You don't get casual in your own zone. Yes, that particular play was, what led to the goal. But, the Canadiens did give up their chances in the second period, and the Flames are coming at them hard. The big question is the breakaway we had. If we score that, I mean, Nick Suzuki was a toe away from making this a 2-0 game just a few minutes before the goal. That was how close he was. Not going to harp on him for that mistake. He's been too good so far. Yeah, it was the first kind of really big glaring Dobson mistakes. It's maybe the first game. I thought he was a little tentative in the first game. Getting outplayed by the worst team in the NHL. I would argue that Calgary, although have gotten off to a terrible start, are not, all things considered, probably shouldn't be the worst team in the NHL when it's all said and done. All Flames, 2 periods in a row. Habs trying to coast and thinking their skill will bail them out. Hence the very soft play. Yeah, this was not a great opener on the road trip so far for the Habs. The we has quickly turned into they. That's funny. That's good, Bob. I'll give you credit on that one. Habs are tied 1-1 and the world is over. You'd think the game was over already. Hey, they still just tied. They could still get a point. They could still win this one out. I'm going to assume you meant game isn't over, but will be soon if they don't step it up. That makes sense. Reminds me of the Rangers game. Habs get comfy and they let the opponent take over. It's a concerning habit. A couple of OT heroics bailed them out, but it's a trend. Yeah, you could argue that they've let teams hang around, but you could also argue that they've been close in every game. Like every game's been they've won more than they've lost, and the ones that they lost were close games. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. They haven't been dominated, but they also haven't been destroyed either. 68-31 in shot attempts, not good enough. That it's funny, that really tells a tale more than shots on goal and high danger chances right now. The shot attempts is a big one. Some of us see trends regardless of wins or losses. It's about long-term success building elite team. This is not a good performance by Habs regardless of the outcome. Yeah, like if they win tonight, I mean, if they win tonight, the story would probably be like, wow, Dobes really kept them in this when there was, when they got outplayed. Indeed, it's we when they win and when they lose, benefit of being a fan, not a player. There you go. You don't have to be. It can change depending on your circumstances. Posted earlier that the Habs season starts tomorrow with Edmonton. The next 13 games, the Habs can't afford this style of play against the teams they're scheduled to play. That's a very good point. Definitely going to keep that one in mind for the our 3 stars comments tonight. Can I flag it? No. Just going to have to save it and remember. I'm just going to put my brain. But Rick, you couldn't be more correct. The team has played fairly well so far this year. This is their biggest stinker, and we haven't actually lost yet. That's a positive thing. That's true. There's 9 minutes to play, and the Canadiens have had, quite a few chances. I mean, Suzuki just hit the post. Suzuki, we were talking about guys who might be due a goal soon. I mean, Suzuki's had his chances tonight. Just can't beat Wolf. Man, somebody tried to take I think it was Kadri, who's 91. Somebody tried to take a run at Hudson. Kadri tried to take a run at Hudson, and he's the one who's down. How do you explain that one? What happened to him? Hudson didn't do anything. But Kadri's down. This is his second big chance this period for Suzuki. Yeah, what happened to him? Because, I mean, he went after Hudson, ran into his shoulder, basically. But he's the one who leveled the hit. Suzuki's got a great shot. I mean, he scored his goals last year. We've missed quite a few excellent scoring chances. Yeah. I mean, you have to keep in mind, like, both goalies have kept this a very low scoring game. I think if it weren't the 2 guys in nets right now, could easily be like a 4-3 kind of game. Kadri, the dive didn't work this time. You can get up. I believe Kadri is done for the night. I don't know now. You guys have really look. I knew Kadri was a bit of a showboat earlier coming into this game, but I don't know. Now you guys have made me doubt that even that was an injury. Maybe nothing happened. I don't know. Old fashioned elbow to the chops. Yeah, is Kadri going to be done for the night? I'm guessing probably not. Before tonight, Montreal had 5 players tied with 11 hits. Jacky, Matheson, Bolduc, Anderson, and what? Cole Caulfield? And I just saw him hit a guy. Sportsnet said Kadri hit Hudson's helmet. Yeah, Kadri ran into Hudson and hurt himself. Hey, that guy's he's aggressive in the offensive zone. He's always chasing down that puck. Kadri will be fine, just a stinger. Flames are desperate. Their numbers need to improve, so they're going on. Yeah, this is why I'm not like so doom and gloom if the Habs lose tonight. Like the Flames at this point, like their season is hanging in the balance. Like they might be the first team in November to decide we're going to enter the McKenna sweepstakes. Let's just trade Kadri and Anderson and like just totally blow this thing up and rebuild. So this team is literally in their final stand right now. Kadri was indeed drafted by the Leafs. He was a local boy. They did not want him. They wanted Braden Shen. Brian Burke was the GM at the time. And Kadri just never seemed to get. He always seemed to get a raw deal in in Toronto, and then he really had to leave. Oh no, the Canadiens got another penalty. That is not great. I mean, was this another bit of a his stick got caught in Connor Zary, and the Flames have a chance to take the lead on the power play with 7:42 to go. I mean, the stick gets caught, you know, the old rope-a-dope. Big block by Suzuki. I don't love seeing him on the PK, though. There you go. What a play by Suzuki. I mean, Suzuki single-handedly took the puck in the offensive zone, trying to get that shorthanded goal. Frost has to haul him down. We're back to 4-on-4. That's a pretty impressive shift by the captain right here. Look at this. Yeah. They were calling those on the Habs all night. Might as well call them on the Flames. A playoff bubble team. Let's not read too much into the headlines. Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to be in the playoff hunt, whether that's kind of in the middle or just like on the bubble. We'll see. If they play like they do so far this season, I think they might be a little better than a bubble team, but we'll see. Hudson shoot the puck. Everybody else crash the net. I think especially against Wolf tonight. Wolf has just seen everything. Let's just try to get something to bounce in. Ooh, Jackeye loses it. Oh, but look at him fight back. Oh, great pass in the neutral zone. Youngest team in the league isn't going to win 80 games. Every team in the league has rough games. That's also true. Yeah, is Dobish going to get 40 saves tonight? He's at 36 right now with over 5 to go and possibly overtime. I think it's a pretty safe bet that he can get 40 tonight. Oh, Slavkovsky with a quick shot missed. Oh, Caulfield right on the circle. What a chance. What a shift by the first line, man. They keep getting close. Man, the Canadiens are getting their chances tonight. So are the Flames, but Slav is playing great hockey early this season, wins a lot of board battles. He's looking great along the boards. He's kind of interesting because he looks great on the boards, wins the battles on the boards, but his deadliest spot as an offensive player is more like around the net. So he's got to like, yeah, he wins the board battle, gets it to the more talented guy, and then go to the net. I think that's probably the winning strategy for him. But I love what we've seen from Slavkovsky this year. I think he's becoming the guy that they wanted. He's not the first overall pick, the prototypical first overall pick, but he's like the perfect complement for that top line. To my earlier point about being fancy, Demidov and Hudson have tons of skill and we're passing around, but it amounted to no shots on goal. You got to simplify and get dirty sometimes. I 100% agree with you. This is extremely talented team, but they do need to sometimes just, especially against a guy like Wolf tonight, who's just seen everything. Just go to the net. Just go to the net, bang away, hurt some guys. That's crash and bang hockey is important too. Can't just pass your way to victory. So Justin, I'm totally with you on your assessment here. Be patient and not take any risks. Get them in OT. Yeah, you definitely don't want to feather a soft pass right here. We've got a little under 5 to play at 4:47 left. And it is 1-1. Disagree. We're trying to build a contender. Winning games 3-3 which is a huge luck element and isn't a playoff format isn't a format played in the playoffs, doesn't help. You know what? So far, I will say Martin St. Louis has kept this team pretty aggressive. He tends to not sit back and try to make overtime. So I do think that I think they're gonna try for the win here. It's all about getting points in the standings. Very tight. Every point counts. You guys have good points tonight. Gallagher's going to have to run back. He lost his helmet. He's got to watch out there and not play the puck. Yeah. Oh, what a great steal. We're down to 3:23. Puck's just cleared the zone. The Canadiens. Calgary's trying to get the puck deep right now. But I wouldn't say the Canadiens are hanging back. They're definitely just like now Slavkovsky's going aggressive behind the Calgary net, but they weren't able to keep the puck deep. Hey, look, Jack Eye's out with 2:47 left. How about that? Marty's trusting him. That was a Gallagher nearly iced the puck, but that was the play of a desperate man who just wanted the puck at center ice. Kind of caught the puck in the air and sort of batted it out of the zone. Calgary, in these last couple of minutes, Calgary hasn't quite managed to get the puck deep for long, but they're definitely tilting the ice a little more in their favor compared to the Habs. Like the Habs really aren't. Like Calgary keeps trying to get deep and not really succeeding, but the Habs haven't really had a chance to get deep at all. That one try with Slavkovsky earlier. Now they've dumped it in. Demidov's got it. Wow, that was a great shot block by Jake Bean. Man, the Flames have blocked so many shots in this little window here. But what a pass by Demidov to Suzuki for the one-timer, but it looks like Weegar got the block. What a play, though. You know, this Calgary team, what they perhaps lack in talent, they're definitely just making up for in willing to do the hard things to keep this game going. We're in the final minute here. One nice thing about the Jays on Sportsnet is listening to Dan Shulman and Buck Martinez announce the game. I'd love to hear Shulman call a hockey game. Yeah, why not? He can do it. I'm sure he has. I'm sure he has had to do it. You know, Pierre Hood has done like baseball games and football games before. Like when you're an announcer, you're an announcer, and there's always an opportunity where you get pulled into something. And Pierre Hood did a game in English even as a replacement once. Let's get the point. There's seconds to go, and the Montreal Canadiens are heading into overtime. Tonight was a goaltending battle for sure. It was 10-8 in shots, Calgary. After a very lopsided second period, I would say that the third period was definitely a little more even. So that's good. Again, the Canadiens, great first period, bad second period, average third period. They'll escape with at least a point tonight. Dan Schulman did junior hockey in TSN of the 90s with Ryan Walters. Really? I'd love to listen to some of that. Yeah, you would think that the Canadiens would have a distinctive advantage 3-on-3 against the Flames, but there's just a little guy named Dustin Wolf that Canadiens are just gonna have to figure out how to beat this guy. Bolduc did it. Get Bolduc out there. Good point on the road. This young team doesn't break. Yeah, they definitely teetered a little bit in the second period there, but they've managed to stick around, and yeah, they get a point. At least a point. Caulfield time on OT. Demidov. Yeah, tell me. Who do you got in OT? Who's going to be the hero tonight? I would like to see Dobson get it to redeem himself from the mistake he made. That's a great pick. I like that. He can do it. Athletes how getting points in the regular season has helped them. It's about developing a team that can win the cup. How you win is just as important. Hope Montembeau taking note. Note 1. Make saves. Will help. Who will be the hero? I mean, so far we've seen lots of Caulfield in OT. Or maybe Demidov tonight. We'll see. Man, Caulfield, almost the hero again. How about the captain? He had a post in the third period and hit the tip of Dustin Wolf's skate, so he's due. How about Demidov to Mike Matheson? What a play. What a play by Demidov. What a Ivan Demidov is the most talented player on the team. I think we're starting to see that every single game. He does things. Yeah. That was in the opening minute, right at the 1 minute mark in overtime. Let's watch this again. I mean, elite. Unreal. He's got 3 Flames players staring at him hopelessly. The Montreal Canadiens are 6-2 on the season. I could have scored that from Demidov. Very nice. That's how good Demidov is. You could have strapped us in there. Maybe we could have had it. Demi is incredible. What do you guys think? Habs are 6-2. They win 2-1 in a game where didn't look like they were going to score 2 goals on Dustin Wolf tonight. That's for sure, but they did. Yeah, how are we feeling about Swarovski? As a rebuilding team, winning games like this is huge for the future. Elite mindset. Unreal the amount of Habs. Calgary. Calgary's a Habs town. Wow. Totally. Off to Edmonton we go. Yeah, the Oilers are going to be. I mean, their goaltending is not going to be as good as tonight's goaltending. That's for sure. Wait, who's going on a trip? Oh no, the Habs I think are off on the trip, not them. Anyways, hold on, we got one more here. My poor dog is desperate for me to take him for a walk, so I'm gonna do that in 1 second. We needed that one. Wasn't pretty, but the Oilers on the second end of back to back. This one had to be a victory. Good night. See you all tomorrow. I actually may not be able to do this tomorrow. I will let you guys know. We'll let you know on the website if I'll be able to do tomorrow's game. Actually, I'll check in with you. They tend to play better against better teams, so I'm thinking that tomorrow will actually be better. It might be. I wish I had a legit answer for you. I'm afraid I don't, but I'm gonna keep asking. All right. I promise you, you will be the first to know when I know. That was the story last year. It was an amazing time against in December, in a time that everybody assumed the Habs were not going to win any games, and then they did. All right, y'all. Everybody have a good night, and let's continue this road trip. Have a good one.